Hey fam, welcome to class. Today we are going to stretch into our inner groin and our abductors. This one it can be a bit tricky because it's a place we don't normally spend a lot of time in, so it might be a bit restrictive to begin with. And especially guys, we need to spend more time in this place because our hips or abductors get really tight. So take this opportunity today to look into it and find something interesting. So with that being said, take some blocks, take a bolster, take pillows, anything you need to kind of prop you up a bit, because we're going to do three versions of a dragon stretch. If you're familiar with that, maybe you know what's coming. Otherwise, I'll show that to you. And then we're going to take a frog. So we're going to move from dragon to frog, and see what shows up. So, all right, let's just get to it. This class is short. It's simple. And we repeat the stretches a few times and let the body start to make sense. So keep the blocks handy. Keep whatever you need handy. I'm going to take my left leg to the front, to the side of the mat. I'm going to scooch my right leg back, and immediately you're going to feel it. Your body's going to talk to you. And when that happens, take a block under you, bring the ground up, or take an object that feels interesting, and start to move around, wave around. Don't be attached to the position in any way. What I mean is don't be restricted to how it's supposed to look. Normally when you take a dragon pose, people expect it to look a certain way, but here we're looking into sensations. So trying to feel a bit of length in the psoas, trying to find a little space under your right leg, and if you do have the space, try and get your elbows to the ground, but not required in the slightest. It takes me a bit of time to figure this out. And here, if your left knee starts to open, that's perfectly okay, but try and bring it back in. Today we are trying to go down instead of going wide. So that is our goal. So try to get the elbows down, move around, and be quite active in this. We're not being passive today. We're being very active. Use the hands to move, use it for scaffolding, move left, move right. Start to work into the space. Use the block as you need to place your hands, if you need that today. And then, when that feels good, come back out of it. Actually, come out of it, not back out of it, and switch your feet. Maybe you need a moment in between to kind of open the front line, or maybe you do not. Doesn't matter. Switch to the other side, right leg forward, left leg back in the dragon. As you can see, the first one is very quick, very simple, because we're not really spending too much time. We're just letting the body get used to the position. We're going to repeat the stretch 2 more times, so take your time getting into it, work into it. And I've noticed, especially stretches like this, which are quite intense, you could be up here. Maybe if your knee doesn't feel so groovy on the ground, add some padding, add a bolster, add something on the knee to just prop it up. Otherwise, this should feel good-ish. I've noticed the body starts to trust itself the more time you spend in these stretches. So work within it, find a length, find an opening. You're almost done. This one is short, and then we'll come back to it for a longer time. And when that feels nice, let that go. Come back up. Keep the blocks or whatever objects you have handy. Take a moment. Figure out what just happened. And then we're going to take a frog pose. So with the frog pose, my knees are going to go out. My heels are going to go further out ahead of my knees. So again, if you do take frogs, don't take your deepest. I'd say go to about 30% to 40% of your capacity, maybe 50% max. In this first one, you're just working into it. And people keep saying frog pose is terrible. It's horrible because, it's a pose we don't normally work into. So if you notice my toes are flexed, I'm tucking my tailbone up, so my tailbone is flicking up, and that's giving me the space to kind of move a little front and back. And as I was saying, people usually consider frog pose quite difficult and painful. Maybe you're just too deep in it. Maybe you need to come out of it instead of trying to tear open your groin. Make this something to explore, like you're moving front and back. I mean, right now it feels pretty chill. I have way more space, but I'm choosing not to go there the first time. Just giving my body that time to breathe and explore before moving in. Almost done, and then we're going to take the dragon again. So, alright, let that go. Scooch the knees in. Oh, take a moment, have a seat. Not too bad, huh? If you go easy, if you take your time with it, these stretches can be very, very approachable. Let's get to the dragon again. Left leg forward, take the blocks, bolsters, whatever you need. I'm gonna keep this one aside because I don't need it for now, but maybe you need it. So my left leg goes forward, my right leg scooches back. Hands down or on something, and start to move. Start to move left, start to move right. Maybe your elbows start to come to the ground. And even if they do, keep moving. Remember, the left knee does not open. You're scooching it in. You're getting it closer to you. And you're finding that length as you move left and as you move right. Finding your breath, finding new space. Notice if the left hip starts to open up. Maybe there's a little bit of an opening in the hip as well. And find your breath. I know I'm making this dragon pose sound super chill and super casual, but it is not easy for most of us. If you're still propped up, that's perfectly fine. But notice if you start to make your way back, make your way to the ground. As you can see, I'm adding the block, I'm taking it out. I'm constantly adjusting. My feet are active, in contact with the ground. And then, let that go. Come out of it. You can lengthen for a moment, move your hips in any way that feels interesting. And switch. So my right leg comes forward, left foot goes back, and find your dragon again. See what shows up. Scooch the right knee in. Take your left hand somewhere to the ground. Maybe your elbows come down. Maybe you don't need the block. Maybe you do. Your choice. And adjust. Move around. Notice if you start getting lower and lower. Maybe you can even take your hand all the way underneath. Take your chest to the ground. Maybe you take your hand and put it on your shoulder. It's in your practice. Do what you gotta do. I'm still a bit tight in my hips, so I do find my limitations, but in a good way. And I work within them. So it's also taken me a couple of years to be able to be comfortable here. I remember the first time I took a dragon, I was just like, man, this is the worst thing in the world. But now it's actually quite manageable and I like it. Might not be the best thing in the world, but it's not the worst. So just a few more breaths. Scooch your right knee closer to your body. Get your chest closer to the ground. You could be all the way up here. You could be all the way up here. It's all okay. Or you could be flat on the ground. Just work into it. And then when that feels groovy and nice, come out of it slowly. I'm just taking like a half splits and opening my hamstring up after that movement. And let that go. Have a seat for a moment, knowing that you're going to take your frog. Now I'm going to ask you to go, second time around in the frog, I'm going to ask you to go about 60% of your capacity. So remember, not 100%, not your deepest, little more than the first time. And notice if the body starts to understand what's going on. So take the knees out, take the feet further out, activate your toes, and use the hands to, kind of push you front and back very gently. So my legs are pressing down, my toes are pulling up, and I'm moving. Second time around in the frog, how does that feel? Can you feel something interesting? And I'm definitely like 20% more of my capacity today. as I move into it. So take your time. Don't push to your max. We still have one more round to go. So be easy, be gentle. Especially guys, I know this is a place that we normally never spend time in. So gentlemen, take your time. I remember the first time I did the frog, I was just like, what the hell is going on? That doesn't feel good at all, but you know, it's a place we need to work into. The abductors do need some love. And it is a space that is very useful when building strength, especially when building strength. So, yeah. Enjoy the vibe, enjoy the space. We're almost done. And then let that go. Somehow come out of it. Get your knees in. Sit down. Realign, bring everything in, and just notice. We're gonna go back to the dragon. I know these stretches are quick, and I'm talking about them so casually because I feel everyone makes it into such a big deal. When I've taken these stretches in the most casual way, my body's shown up in such a lovely way by the end of it. I've noticed the space starting to build. So that's why I'm approaching this in a fun, a fun way than we normally do. So with that being said, pep talk done. Let's get to it. Left side, left leg. So take your left leg out. Maybe you need the block, maybe you don't. I don't think I need the block this time around. So I'm just going to come onto my elbows. Make sure your left knee is not popping open. And scooch your right leg back. And same idea, add a bit of movement. Stretch. Your right toes can be tucked, they can be untucked. Your choice. Work into it. Notice third time around into the stretch. Has the body given you some new space to explore? Has the nervous system start to trust this capacity? How do you feel in this place? You might surprise yourself, right? The goal isn't to get your hands to the ground. The goal is to press into the left foot and start to feel that opening in your groin. This place is under your hamstrings, maybe in your right psoas. If the hands come down, that's great. If your chest comes down, that's great. If it doesn't, no matter, no problem, it's all good. Just work for sensation. Come back to your breath, find a bit of ease last time around. You can take this more chill if you like. You can be quite yinny with it, or you can be active. I'm still a bit active. So maybe you would want to add that in as well, or find a sense of ease. I think I felt a bit of a release in my left hip. Maybe you did too. And when that feels nice, slowly come back up. If you did find an interesting stretch, you can always pause the video and just keep at it. The recent studies when it comes to biomechanics and stretching shows that the benefit of your stretch is within the first 20 seconds to 40 seconds. So I usually like to keep my stretches a bit shorter. So let's get to the other side, and then we'll take the frog pose to end it. So find your right foot onto the ground and try and get your elbows somewhere close to the ground. Maybe your chest comes all the way down. Maybe it doesn't. It's okay. It doesn't matter at all. Just go for sensation. Notice if you're a bit more open. I definitely feel a little more space in my right side. Third time around. I'm still pressing my right foot into the ground. I'm trying to pull the knee closer in. My left psoas is nice and long and open. Finding my breath as I do this. So move. Find something interesting in your practice. Find something interesting in your mind. A bit of ease, maybe. Almost done. Just a few more breaths, few more movements. Maybe your chest comes a bit more to the ground. And when that feels groovy, let that go. Find a bit of space, opening. Again, if you have the deepest stretch in the world for you today, pause the video. Do not worry about it. I'm staying a bit shorter in these stretches, but I mean, I've got what I was looking for, but maybe you need a bit more time, or you can always come back to this class and, redo them and see what shows up every time you do the class. Last stretch, third time into the frog. Take it. You know the drill. Knees go out, heels go further out. And when you take your feet out, this time go to about 80% of your capacity. We are still not going 100. We're going to about 80% of the capacity. If your elbows come down, try it, see how that feels. I'm still not struggling. I remember this used to be so intimidating, and now it's perfectly okay because I'm not 100% in it, and that's perfectly fine. If you do find some space opening up, scooch the legs a bit more and work into that space. But, if you find you're at your limits, ease out of your limits. There's no need to suffer. Make this a very approachable stretch. I'm still moving. I'm still adding that space. I'm still moving around and a little front and back, finding that opening. Just a few more breaths. I'm sure we're about a minute in this already, or a bit more. So I'm going to gently start coming out of it. So here you can come onto your chest, or you could scooch the legs together and have a seat. Ooh. Give the hips a break. Lay down, take a nap, or maybe this opened up something super interesting for you to explore in a few more stretches, or maybe your hips are just done, they're cooked. If whatever you choose to do, just take some moments to kind of windshield wipe with the legs, loosening all the muscles, all the spaces you worked into. You could always just, straighten the foot, slide it around, whatever feels nice today. Just work within it and let the tension go. So, if this was a bit intimidating the first time around, I hope the ease at which we approach the class helped you find something different. And notice every time you come back to this class or you take these stretches on your own, what changes, what feels different. Do you find something interesting in your hips? And start to notice how this changes into your daily life. How do you walk? How do you move around? And just how you get in and out of bed, or sit on a motorcycle, or whatever you want to do. So either way, this is a good one to come back to. And I keep saying, guys, this is something we really need and highly recommend it. So thank you so much for practicing. My name is Varun, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Peace.